Good evening and welcome to Student Memorial Field, home of Merrimack High School Tomahawks. This Division I football game between the visiting Windham Jaguars and your Merrimack High School Tomahawks is being held under the rules and policies of the New Hampshire Interscholastic Athletic Association. Please display good sportsmanship throughout this athletic contest. Your officials for tonight's game are referee John Radin, umpire Dave Prue, headline judge John Andrick, line judge Nick Sanders, and back judge Nathan Peck. At this time, I would ask that you all please rise, remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
Well, it looks like the rain is going to hold off just long enough here in Merrimack as the Tomahawks get ready to host the Jaguars of Windham. Hello, my name is Robert T. Fleece alongside Justin Slez. Thank you for joining us here on Merrimack TV as we gear up for an exciting Division I high school football matchup. We got two teams with identical records of 2-3, but Justin, their records don't exactly reflect these teams' abilities.
They really don't. I heard on good authority that Windham, actually, the three teams that they lost to have a combined record of 13-1. And, their average margin of defeat was only 8 points. So definitely a very strong Windham team, despite the record.
And Merrimack coming off a couple of challenging losses as well. Weather has certainly been a factor and perhaps some preseason jitters as they get all of that out. But both teams looking to kind of take shape as we're over that halfway mark here in this season. And this game really does carry a lot of playoff implications. Both teams are currently kind of on the outside looking in, trying to find their way into playoffs, and every game matters at this point. They got to be able to win these games to keep their playoff hopes alive. And for Windham, they certainly have a lot to prove of if this team is actually legit. So this is certainly a huge, huge game on the line for both teams. And it looks like Merrimack has won the toss, and they will receive.
Merrimack has chosen to receive the kickoff.
Certainly going to be an exciting offensive matchup between these two teams tonight. Both teams have been doing a lot with their offensive fronts and have been able to put up points successfully. The Tomahawks coming off a win last week as they hosted Bonnie Eagle. The offense looked great for them. And for Windham, Tiger On, their running back, number 43, is that staple of their option-based offense. So it's going to be an exciting matchup. You're probably going to see a lot of points on the board tonight unless one of the two teams' defenses really steps up and puts together a stop.
Also want to thank you for watching out there on Channel 8 Comcast, HD 1072 on MerrimackTV.com, or on the all-new Merrimack TV app. You get a lot of options, a lot of ways to watch. Anyone out there, I just want to remind you, as I bring my volume down a little bit here. Oh, how's that? Just want to remind you that if you want a shout out tonight, we'll be passing those out for free. You just head on over to the Facebook page under Merrimack TV. See the post about the Merrimack Windham game tonight. Leave a comment, and we will shout you out during the match tonight, as Windham looks like they're setting up for kickoff.
Samus Ross lined up for the kick for Windham. And I believe it is Garen Brown back deep for the Tomahawks. And it is fielded. Not able to get much, though, as he is brought down at the 20-yard line where the Merrimack offense will take over. Led out onto their field by number 4, their quarterback, Sahil Majower, who last week had a really big comeback performance. You know, he had a little bit of turnover struggles against BG 2 weeks ago and wasn't using his legs as much as he really is a dual threat quarterback. So last week was certainly a comeback game for him as he looked great, able to do it on the ground, able to do it in the air despite the rain. And their offense really looked good, especially under the command of Majower. Tomahawks coming out with the hard count early, trying to catch Windham off guard, but it looks like Windham is too disciplined for that. Majower with the snap. He pitches it out to number 8, Garen Brown, who is able to find some space early, and he is going one man to beat at the 30, at the 20. He's not going to catch him. He is going to take it all the way on the first offensive play of the game for the Tomahawks. Garen Brown, who had 3 touchdowns last week. Let's take another look at that. One last chance effort on the 15-yard line for Windham, but it's not going to be enough as Garen Brown stays on his feet and brings it in. What a momentum shifter for the Tomahawks, getting on the board that early.
And this is exactly what Coach Kip Jackson wants to see. They want them playing ahead. They want Windham playing from behind.
And such a huge confidence booster for the Tomahawks, able to get that breakout play right off the bat, get all of that momentum on their favor. Matthew Schmidt out to kick, but it looks like it was tipped, and it is no good.
Who else but Garen Brown, though?
He is that staple of the Tomahawks offense. As Coach Jackson says, everything starts and ends on offense with Garen Brown. And just 18 seconds into this game, the Tomahawks take a 6-0 lead. As the
Let's see if I can pull this up one more time. No, it didn't quite work. I was trying to pull back a little bit on the clip here.
And a great push by the offensive line up front. I know we can't really see it in the replay there, but offense last week, this week, they're able to make those holes for Garen Brown and the rest of the Merrimack specialists to be able to make those big plays. It all happens up front in the trenches with the big guys. So well done by the offensive line by Merrimack. Looks like we're having a little bit of troubles on the field. Coach Jackson speaking with his kicker. Schmidt, who did not miss a kick last week, gets his first extra point blocked tonight. He is lined up to send the ball away to Windham. And it's a big boot by Schmidt. And it is dropped initially, but picked up and carried out to about the 26-yard line. That was carried by Romeo Atkin.
I'm going to try one more time to get a full look at this last play here.
Darren Brown.
There you go. There's the toss.
Able to make that cut inside and cut it up, and it is just a foot race at that point, and nobody is able to track down number 8. Windham's offense taking the field for the first time. Tiger on in the backfield, really the staple of their offense, and they go to him first, and he finds space as well. Huge breakout play as he brings it out to the 50-yard line before he's finally brought down by Connor Dunn.
Hand off to Ann.
I thought he might be running away with that one, Rob.
Yeah, Windham really looking to try to get the momentum back in their favor, and that's the explosiveness that Merrimack needs to contain from Tiger on, as he is one of the leading rushers in the state of New Hampshire so far this season, already over 650 rushing yards through 5 games. Windham dropping back to pass, but it looks like it's going to roll incomplete. Little screen pass intended for Cameron Williams. It's going to fall incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10 for Windham.
Just a little too far ahead of him on that one, I think.
Just a little bit. Looks like there might have been a little bit of confusion on offense as well. They do run such an option-heavy offense, which is a little surprising to see in a high school team. That just means that Coach Byrne and the rest of the staff at Windham places a lot of faith in their quarterback's decision-making. DePietro with the snap, hands it off to On, but he's not going to be able to find much room. Pick up about 1.5 yards, which is going to bring up 3rd and a long 8 for the Jaguars.
Quarterback keeper by number 15, DePietro.
I was trying to get the name of who is running the scoreboard tonight. I would like to thank them very much. They might not have got the refresher on the yardage buttons, but we can see it's 3rd down.
Merrimack's defense moves around a lot at the line. Tiger on 3rd down is not able to find much space. Maybe about another yard gain. But it will bring up a 4th down for the Jaguars.
And Merrimack's defense has got to be feeling really good about that stop right there. You know, I'm looking at these stats from Tiger on, and they are eye-popping to say the least. So,
yeah, absolutely. But it looks like the offense is gonna stay on the field. And they're able to get the Tomahawks to jump off sides with their hard count. That's kind of a costly mistake for the Tomahawks, because now a 4th and 7, a 4th and long is going to become a much more manageable 4th and 1, 4th and 2. And for someone like Tiger On, able to pick up those yards as a bruiser-type running back, this is a much more doable 4th down, whereas you had the ability to make a stop. Those types of costly mistakes is the things that Coach Jackson said they really need to clean up rough around the edges, because those little mistakes do add up and result in big losses. On in the backfield, DePietro hands it off to him, able to shed a couple of tackles. He does pick up the 1st down for the Jaguars.
Thought he was running right into that wall. He got a little bounce out there. Picks up the 1st down.
Able to get it done.
And the ball's on the 36.
Windham's offense will stay on the field as the drive continues. One of the things that is special about this defensive front for the Tomahawks is they only have one lineman that plays both sides of the ball. Aside from that one player, they're specialists on both sides, so the offensive line is able to rest when the defense is on the field, and vice versa. The defense is able to get some rest, which is huge when you're going up against a run game like Windham's. DePietro keeps it himself this time, rolling out to the outside. He's able to find some room. Garen Brown pushes him out of bounds around the 7-yard line. Let's take another look at that. Decided not to take the pitch, keeps it himself. Nice block on the edge, keeping Logan Day away from making the tackle before Garen Brown finally chases him down. Another huge momentum-shifting play for Windham as they're now in the red zone.
Man, they fooled me on that play. I was looking at the middle of the field.
You know, when you give the ball to someone like Tiger On so often, does catch the team a little off guard because they might be expecting the same old, and those are the type of plays that can be huge gains if they're able to catch the Tomahawks off guard. DePietro keeps it himself, looking to the pitch man, pitches it out, able to pick up a few. Pitches it out to Chris Brearley. And that is that triple option offense that is rather lethal for Windham. And speaking to Coach Jackson earlier this week, he said the key to stopping that option is gap integrity, discipline, and everyone maintaining their jobs. Every player has an assignment to cover a man in those option situations. And defensively, if everyone does their job, then every man should be covered. But those big plays come when someone is not necessarily doing the right thing. DePietro looking to pass, but he's going to hold on to it himself. Waiting from the call for the official. Looks like he might be just short on the 1-yard line. Windham's such a run-heavy team. Even when they come out in a pass set, they still turn and look for that run as their offensive line is able to make crucial blocks for them.
Third and goal.
Now the Tomahawks backed up in their own end zone, looking to make a stop. Windham lining up with not a lot of time left on the play clock. Got to get this play off quickly. DePietro had to leave the game for a play as his helmet came off. On takes it in. Able to get the 1-yard pickup for the touchdown for Windham to tie this game back up. Let's take another look at it here. Snap from the backfield. On has a wide open hole.
7 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first quarter.
Maxwell Noddington there waiting for him, but with just such a short distance to go, quite difficult to make the stop for Merrimack. Windham lining up to take the lead with this extra point. It is up and through as the Jaguars take a 7-6 lead over the Tomahawks with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. And this is, as I had mentioned, both teams being very, very explosive on offense. Both teams in their first possessions able to get down the field and take it into the promised land. Obviously, the Tomahawks did it a little bit faster than the Jaguars were, but still, both teams scoring on their first possessions goes to show how strong these offenses are.
Of course, the only difference right now, I believe, is that tipped ball from the extra point on Merrimack's side. And that fourth down play where they got Merrimack to jump off sides really made that a much more manageable play to keep that drive alive and get that touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. And two things that may seem small in the moment add up, and now we're up 6-0, momentum going in your favor, and now you're kind of at a 1-point deficit, momentum back to a even square as you're getting back on offense. Michael Gendron trying to field the ball. Not able to go anywhere with it as he steps out of bounds. Merrimack is going to be backed up at their own 5-yard line. Huge special teams play for the Jaguars as they are able to leave the Tomahawks with rather difficult field position.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of work to do on this drive here.
Number 34, Jack Thornton, in at tight end for the Tomahawks. They like to use him as a little bit of a tight end utility back in their offensive scheme. He's not always out there, but when he is definitely their Swiss Army knife, if you will, that he can do it all for them. Majower keeps it himself, takes it out to the left side. Not able to get much. Pickup of about 4 yards. Or being brought down by number 29, Kavi Patel.
About a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Gonna bring up about a 2nd and 5 for the Tomahawks. Looks like Logan Day was calling for a sub on the far side of your screen. Handoff to Garen Brown up the middle. Not gonna go 80 yards this time, but still picks up a couple as the Tomahawks now face a 3rd and 3.
Taken down by Rico.
Tomahawks waste no time getting back to the line. Their no-huddle offense does tire out so many defenses as they are able to move so quickly. Trying to catch the Jaguars off guard with that hard count, but it does not work once again. Majower with the snap, looking to keep it again himself, but he is going to lose yards as he is tackled in the backfield by Reed Lambert. Huge play for the Jaguars.
Bourgeois on the carry, taken down by Lambert.
Excuse me, on the previous play, the Tomahawks did pick up the first down.
2-yard gain on that one. The 2nd and 8.
So now it is going to be a 2nd and 8. Trying that hard count once again. It might work eventually. We'll see.
Persistence.
Majower with the snap, fakes the handoff to Garen Brown and throws the screen to number 2, Aiden Centrella, who is able to pick up a good chunk of yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Tomahawks.
Centrella, taken down by Desmaris.
Centrella, a consistent option on offense for the Tomahawks.
About a 4-yard gain. We got 3rd and 3.
Day and Centrella out wide to the right. Majower hands it off to Brown. Looks like with forward progress is going to get the first down for the Tomahawks.
Brown on the carry, stopped by Roy. Enough.
Tackled after about 4 by Roy.
Tomahawk. Oh, come on, folks. We're sleeping tonight.
Sounds like the PA announcer at the field trying to get a little bit more energy out of the crowd. And that is going to be a false start on the Tomahawks.
Flag on the play.
I have a message from the interim AD down there, Mr. Peter Bergeron. He says, John Kaczynski is the on-field announcer tonight. So thank you, John, for being down there and doing that. Thank you for whoever happens to be on the scoreboard tonight. Looks like they're getting the handle on the downage and yardage as well on there. So we thank them for that. We thank you, Rob, for stepping up in the absence of our 3-year commentators over the past 2 years. As who else? Garrett Brown getting a big chunk of yardage there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Jaguars able to get the Tomahawks in a 1st and 15 situation, have them backed up, but Garen Brown able to get it all back with that first down play, and now the Tomahawks are looking at a 2nd and 1.
I'd say much more manageable.
Absolutely. Tomahawks coming out in a trips set to the right side. Majower's only thrown 1 pass in this game so far. And it looks like we're going to get a second here as the screen goes out to Centrella. who's able to pick up the first down and about 6 extra yards after the fact before going out.
Taken down by 21, which sets us up for another Merrimack.
It's going to bring up a first down for the Tomahawks.
There you go. Maybe you can hear the on-field crowd there that time calling the first down.
45.
It's still early. They're still waking up a little bit, getting their energy going. Little jump by the Jaguars, but he gets right back on sides. Tomahawks moving that trips set out to the left side now. Majower with the snap, looking for the screen to Centrella again, this time to the other side. Centrella again able to get a good chunk of yards before being wrapped up by Jake McKellick. Pickup of about 8 yards, going to make it a 2nd and 2 for the Tomahawks.
But an 8-yard gain puts the ball on the 47.
Day, Thornton, and Centrella tight on the right side. Jaguars with a 4-man rush. Majower pitches it out to Brown, who's trying to fight for those extra yards, but it looks like he's going to be just short, bringing up a 3rd and long 1 yard for the Tomahawks.
He's chugging those legs, but he was just stood right up there. Just a wall of defenders meeting him.
And for his size, he's a bruiser back. He is able to keep those legs moving nice and strong. Takes a couple of men to bring him down typically. And that was Brown again able to push it forward for the first down before being brought down by Dylan Roy. Tomahawks now into Jaguars territory.
Ball's on the 39.
About 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Centrella in motion. Handoff to Brown up the middle. Wrapped up at the ankles. Take another look at that one here.
Little tricky play here.
Centrella coming in motion, fakes the handoff before giving it to Brown, who takes it up the middle. Little ankle biter tackle who may have saved a potential touchdown. One more cut, and good old Garen Brown might have been gone there.
Absolutely.
About 2 minutes left in the quarter.
Tomahawks getting the play call at the line. 2nd and 1. Majower with the snap, keeps it himself up the middle. Able to get the first down, but not much more after that as he is brought down.
I want to remind you, if you're looking for a shout out, you can check out Merrimack TV's Facebook page. Just see the post about tonight's game versus the Jaguars. Leave a comment. Tell us where you're watching from, how you're watching, maybe what you're snacking on. We'd love to give you a shout out. It's that Merrimack Facebook page.
1st and 10 for the Tomahawks from the Windham 27-yard line. Looks like we're going to get a timeout here.
About a minute 20 on the clock.
This would have been a more opportune time to push the shout-out situation here. But here we are. Looks like we got Maureen Mooney on here, a Merrimack TV and Merrimack Tomahawk superfan. She says, "Go Tomahawks. I'm watching from home tonight on Comcast TV Channel 8. So thank you, Maureen. You're also on Comcast 1072 as well, HD.
And we all play a role in keeping our community
Anyone
safe.
else that wants a shout out, please visit the Merrimack TV Facebook page. Leave a comment on the Merrimack Windham post that we have. Do our best to shout you out tonight.
Something to local authorities. Together, we can protect our community.
Whether you're cheering for the Tomahawks, you're cheering for the Jaguars, we want to hear from you. Coach Kip Jackson talks it over with his team, see what they dial up here. Are they 1st and 10 right now? Is that correct?
It is 1st and 10. And it looks like we may have been a little bit off on the clock.
Yes,
that
I guess
the quarter came to an end. It was not a timeout.
Let's go, D!
Tomahawks able to get a little bit lengthier of a discussion than if it was a timeout. So perhaps a good thing for the Tomahawks as they are looking to enter the red zone.
As we begin the second quarter, ball's down on the 28. First and 10, Merrimack.
One running back, one tight end personnel for the Tomahawks. Majower pitches it out. And that was Antonio DiPietrantonio. My apologies if I did not pronounce that right. He is not able to find much room. Going to lose a couple of yards. Bring up a second and 12 for the Tomahawks. Looking for that hard count once again. Still not able to catch the Jaguars off guard. Majower with the snap, looking to throw, but he's under a lot of pressure, decides to take it himself. Avoids the sack, but only picks up about 1.5 yards, which is going to bring up a long third down for the Tomahawks. Not a lot of time in the pocket there for Majower. Met by the rush pretty quickly.
No gain on the play.
And from this angle, it did look like he had a generous opening there, but that closed up pretty quick as he went for that run. So the Windham Jaguars ready for that. As we queue up third down.
Majower with the throw out to Centrella. It looks like it will fall incomplete. Hit as he caught the ball, unable to hold on to it. That is going to bring up a 4th and 11 for the Tomahawks. It does look like the offense stays on the field in that kind of 4-down territory mark.
Now, Rob, as a former Tomahawk, where would you say if during a high school football game you were going to kick a field goal from the field, where do you want to be? Maybe the 15-yard line? Or is that still kind of far for high school matches?
Well, with someone like Schmidt on the team, Schmidt's a good kicker, so I think he could make one from as far as 30, 35. So put him out on the 20-yard line, perhaps he'd be able to make that kick. And that pass is complete to Logan Day, but is it going to be enough for the first down? It looks like it will be. Let's take another look at this here. Majower looking out to his right side, able to find his receiver Day right on the sideline, who gets the toes down. Huge play for the Tomahawks to keep this drive running.
Merrimack with another Merrimack.
Let's go, D!
Majower hands it off to Garen Brown, who's able to find some room, but is not going to be able to take it all the way as he is tackled at about the 4-yard line. Tomahawks wasting no time, going right back at it. Ball's back in Brown's hands. Still going to be just short at about the 1-yard line. Windham ready for the quick hurry-up offense of the Tomahawks. It's going to be a 2nd and goal here, and they're going to go quick again. The Jaguars once again ready for her, able to get a couple of guys in the backfield there. Garen Brown still unable to get that final yard. Going to bring up a 3rd and goal for the Tomahawks. Majower is coming off of the field.
3rd and goal.
And Jonathan Sadia comes on. Looks like the Tomahawks are going to come out in some sort of wildcat set. Garen Brown takes the snap. It is going to be wildcat. His legs are pumping, but it looks like it's going to be just short of the end zone.
That Jaguars defense is an absolute wall right now on the end zone.
Not letting up that extra 1.5 yards.
Short of the goal line.
Standing tall, and it looks like the Tomahawks are going to stay on the field.
4th and goal for
and
Merrimack.
go for it. 4th and goal from about the 1-yard line. This is a huge play here early in the game. Tomahawks looking to take the lead back. Windham looking to make a huge stop. They go with a hard count, unable to get them to jump.
I was wondering if they might be trying to do that.
Would not do much there. Would only move the ball maybe about a half an inch.
And it wouldn't change the downs. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Majara with the snap, looking to throw to the right side, but it is tipped
Oh,
and still brought in.
my
They are going to call it a touchdown. That was Logan Day able to track the ball. Tip drill for the touchdown for the Tomahawks. It is tipped at the line, but Logan Day tracks it down and able to secure the catch. What a play by Logan Day to be able to stay that aware.
Touchdown by number 21.
Unbelievable catch.
Day.
And that's about as good a defense as you can play if you're Windham, and just unfortunate circumstances that it tips in the Tomahawks' favor as Logan Day is able to bring it down for the Tomahawks touchdown. High snap, but Garen Brown brings it down as the Tomahawks send the extra point through. Now taking a 13-7 lead.
13-7.
Quite a long drive for the Tomahawks there compared to their first one, but that now does lead 3 drives for both teams and 3 touchdowns. So it is such an offensive heavy game. Both defenses look good, but it's that ground and pound 4 or 5 yards at a time, inching further and further down the field before finally punching it in. It's just so hard on a defense to be on the field for that long. Eventually you're going to get a little tired. Eventually you're going to get worn down, and you're going to give up that touchdown. But well done by both teams' offenses so far. Windham able to get 3 stops at their own goal line, but that 4th one was just not enough as that tip goes in the favor of the Tomahawks.
Unreal catch once again. Just got to say it. Let me say, I got Jessica Brewster here. She says, hey, watching from Haverhill, Mass. Let's go Tomahawks. My nephew Evan is number 56. Let's go Evan. Woohoo. So I hope I captured the woohoo just enough. Evan Brewster, of course, number 56. And then Bob Jones, he says, let's go Tomahawks. Logan Day, let's do this. And I am perhaps doing a little more justice to that comment than the woohoo. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Jessica. Anyone else out there that wants to get a shout out, just check out the Merrimack TV Facebook page. As the Jaguars taking it up to about the 35.
Pretty big return for the Jaguars. Josh Ozog there to make the tackle about 10 yards prior, but a powerful stiff arm by Dylan Roy, able to pick up some extra yards.
Be sure to pick up your 50-50 raffle tickets.
Looks like there might have been a flag on the play. It's going to back the Jaguars up within their own 10-yard line. Another costly mistake, huge return, but immediately called back, and now you're put in a difficult backed up field position. Hand off. Oh, no, it looks like DePietro was holding on to it himself, unable to pick up much as he is tackled by Shea Egan.
You can see the Merrimack Tomahawks are feeling good about that tackle.
They are very excited.
See if they can keep that momentum.
10-yard line first.
So they got Windham backed up way deep.
Going to be a 2nd and about 7 from their own 11-yard line. Handoff to the outside, able to find some room, but pushed out of bounds. That was number 17, Cameron Williams for the Jaguars. Finally pushed out of bounds by Egan. Does pick up the first down, able to give the Jaguars a little bit more breathing room there. Gets them out of that tricky situation. Going to be a 1st and 10 for the Jaguars from their own
first half of the game.
26-yard line.
7 minutes, man.
Another handoff to the outside. This time it's taken by Chris Brearley, who stays on his feet before getting swallowed up by a swarm of Tomahawks.
Quite some speed running off to the side there.
Stopped by Stevens. Ball's on the 24.
Sorry about that, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back. Gonna bring a 2nd and long. The pitch goes outside to Tiger on. He's not able to find a lot of room. Gonna pick up about 4. Going to be a 3rd and 8 for the Jaguars.
End off the end. Taken down by Stevens. No gain in the play. Ball's on 29. Windham's got about 3rd and 7.
Tiger on been pretty limited in this game so far. Tomahawks doing a great job. And it looks like the Jaguars were looking to throw. Nobody home, but there is a flag in the backfield. DePietro's pass falls incomplete, but we'll see what the call is here on the field.
Looks like holding against Windham.
It is going to be on Windham, but it looks like the Tomahawks are going to decline the penalty to bring up a 4th and down. And it was indeed holding on Windham, but the Tomahawks decline the penalty. It is a 4th and 8. Gotta expect the hard count again here if you're the Tomahawks. You know, they were in the same 4th and long situation. Not this time, as it is a quick punt. No one back to return for the Tomahawks. Day does pick it up, decides to return it. Not able to get much more as he is tackled at the 30-yard line. That is the first offensive drive for either team to not result in a touchdown, as we have just 5.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. For those who are just joining us, it is the Tomahawks up 13-7 over the Windham Jaguars with 5.5 left to go here in the first half.
And those of us who did not join us last week, you might be noticing and thinking, hey, where's Dave? Where's Ralph? Where are they? We want to thank Dave and Ralph for the last 3 years they were commentating. They decided to step down this year. And generously, Rob DeFelice has stepped up. He is your new commentator. I will be filling in for color for the remainder of the season. So thank you, Rob, for being here. We really appreciate you calling the game. You've been doing a great job. You got a lot of love last week on Facebook, on the shout-outs. So we really appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all our volunteers as well. We couldn't do it without the volunteers.
Hand off to Brown, picked up.
I appreciate the love, and I am happy to be here supporting my old team.
2nd and 9. Merrimack.
Rob DeFelice, is that? Give me how do you pronounce the last name there?
Well, the typical pronunciation is DeFelice, but
all right.
My Italian ancestors will tell you it is De Felice.
Oh, okay.
Which means of happiness.
Wow. Oh, very fitting, I would say.
I like to think so. Previous play was Garen Brown, not able to pick up anything as it is now 2nd and 10. Majower keeping it himself out to the left side. Able to pick up a good chunk of yards. Going to make it a much more manageable 3rd down for the Tomahawks.
Bourgeois, the quarterback keeper.
And the Tomahawks using Majower a little bit more in the run game than they were in the first half of the season. He's kind of limited in his production. He is slated as kind of that dual threat quarterback. He can do it both ways, through the air, on the ground. But it looks like we got stoppage on the field.
Oh, man. That would have been just enough, too, for that 1st down, but let's see what the refs say.
Looks like the ref on the Tomahawks sideline was calling for the stoppage, but a little bit of confusion on the field.
And now is Coach Kip Jackson going to dial up a different play here now that the Windham Jaguars have seen Brown right up the middle?
Did look like the players were looking to the sideline to their offensive coordinator, Coach Bunis, signaling in the plays. Garen Brown takes it up the middle. They do turn back to the same play. And
almost identical spot taken down as well. And
at
least is he shaking his hand or is he
yeah,
just
it looks
excited
like Brown
now?
is shaking up a little bit. Not a good sign for the Tomahawks. Might have jammed his finger a little bit there on the last play. He was calling for a sub almost immediately.
See him shaking it off right there a little bit.
Hopefully it's nothing serious. You always hate to see a player get injured, regardless of the circumstances. But for someone like Garen Brown, who's such a huge player of this Tomahawks team, Majower looking to that screen to Centrella once again.
Screen seems to be a favorite play here outside of the run for the Tomahawks, unless I'm mistaken. They seem to have pretty good success with it for the most part. A little bit of chunk yardage every.
Pass to Centrella, picked up a
every
couple
time.
yards, taken down
Looks
by
like
number 21 Brown.
using Centrella a little bit more in this game. He's typically, you know, that
46, that'll be
solid
second.
third option
And
for the
about
Tomahawks
8.
offense. You have obviously Garen Brown is the number one guy, and then
Yep.
Logan Day gets involved quite a bit as well. Centrella is certainly still involved a lot, but seems to be getting a little bit more production. Logan Day, outside of the tip ball touchdown, not getting as many targets as Centrella here in this game. Majower keeps it himself, able to punch it up the middle. Going to pick up a good chunk of yards. Be a 3rd and short once again for the Tomahawks
Quarterback Hebert, taken
as
down
they
by
cross
number
into
54,
Jaguars territory.
51, Durkin. The 3rd and 2 for Merrimack.
3rd and 2 here for the Tomahawks. Majower keeps it himself once again, but they are going to stop him.
Bourgeois in the carry.
Loses the ball, but they're going to say he was down. Majower a little slow to
Stop
get
by
up.
him, looks like no gain on the play. Brings
Hopefully
it to
he's
4th
okay.
and 2.
Be a big stop there. Let's see what they do. They're
About
right
2
in
minutes
that
left to
kind
play.
of weird zone where
Watch the ball!
Looks like the Tomahawks are going to decide to punt it. Don't want to be too risky as you carry this 6-point lead with just under 2 minutes left to go in the half.
yeah, I think this is a good call. Not a lot of time on the clock. Looks like they're going to run it down quite a bit as well.
Speaks to their confidence in their defense as well, that they're willing to put the ball back in Windham's hands and trust in their defense to be able to make a stop. With just a minute and a half left to go, the Tomahawks are going to take a timeout just before the play clock expires.
Timeout Merrimack. National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is observed on
Pretty
October
even
each year to
game
promote
thus far
screening and prevention of breast
through
cancer.
just about
This
the
observance
first half.
provides a focused
Both
time
teams'
to support
offense inching their
patients
way
and
down the
families
field.
facing a breast cancer diagnosis.
Tomahawks
Educate people
currently
about
on the
breast cancer,
advantage.
risk factors, emphasizing
But
the
the
importance of
Jaguars
regular
will get the
screening
ball back
starting at an age that's
with
appropriate
enough
for their
time to maybe
personalized
put
risk
together
and to fundraise for breast
a
cancer.
drive able to get all the way
Several
down the
players
field,
have donated money to
pending
Ramp
the
Inc. to raise awareness and
Tomahawks
raise money
able to make a
help
stop.
others. Please join the players by donating to the MHS football program for this cause, which will be matched by the
Coach
local
Jackson
football
discussing
program,
things with his
but
special
all
teams
donations
unit,
go to a local
which is
charity
another
to help out
key
those
that
in
Coach
need.
Jackson mentioned going into this game. He said special teams and field possession make such a huge difference in this game. They want to pin them deep. They want to make it difficult for their offense to get opportunities and put them in uncomfortable situations. We'll see if Schmidt's leg will be able to deliver with that here. As the Tomahawks punt unit takes the field after the timeout. Good snap. Schmidt, oh, it looks like Centrella was actually into punt. Short punt. Going to be on about the 35-yard line. Interesting call there.
Centrella with the punt.
Maybe
Ball
they
is
were
out of bounds around
potentially looking
35-yard
for
line.
a fake of some sorts,
and
but
10,
they
Windham.
didn't like what they saw lined up, so decided to just punt it out after all.
And certainly not as deep as the Tomahawks would have liked, I'm thinking right now. I got Jeffrey Francis on Facebook. I got a shout out queued up for him once we get a little bit of break in the action here.
DePietro dropping back to throw. Going to be a quick screen pass to On, who is not going to go down on first contact. Keeps the legs running before finally being brought down at about the 43-yard line.
Taken out by number 5, Sadia.
And Rob, as I teased a little bit earlier, only seconds ago, in fact, Jeffrey Francis on Facebook here, he says, as a grandparent of Windham Jaguars linebacker Parker Francis, number 62, we are so grateful for your live feed. Thank you. We are thrilled to be able to watch from, get this, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we got some Tulsa, Oklahoma folks watching on Merrimack TV. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. We really appreciate the gratefulness. We are happy to bring Merrimack TV anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, and you can now do that with the new Merrimack TV app. So you can download that anywhere. Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, also on your Apple phone on iOS and Android devices. So check that out.
And when there's not Merrimack High School sports going on, you can always catch an exciting school board meeting. I know those are my favorite to watch.
Absolutely. Always something going on with the school board. You got school board, town council, zoning board. Any of those tickle your fancy, download the Merrimack TV app.
It's always good to know the what's what around town. DePietro looking to pitch it out, but a little bit of miscommunication as the ball hits the ground, but the Jaguars are able to pick it up and save a potential turnover. That was Matthew Desmaris, who was able to pick it up, not able to gain any of the yardage back, but still able to recover the ball and keep the Jaguars offense on the field. Gonna be a timeout by the Tomahawks here before a big third down.
I suppose I'll mention after that bobbled ball, it did look like a little miscommunication there, but earlier this afternoon, I'd say mid-afternoon, it was raining just a little bit, so I'm not sure how that field is holding up down there. I don't know that it really has been a big factor, but I did want to mention it as we're filling in some time during the timeout here. I don't know what your feelings are about that, Rob. What do you think?
Well, I know both teams are no strangers to playing in the rain. It's been quite a rainy summer and fall here in New England, especially in New Hampshire. Tomahawks last week against Bonnie Eagle played the whole game in the rain, and the week prior against BG also raining the entire game, so they might even be used to it at this point, but that rain, that slippery field certainly makes a huge difference. Pitch goes out. It's going to be a double pass, but it is intercepted by who else but number 8, Garen Brown, who is looking to make a return, find some room. Let's take another look at that. The Jaguars trying to go with a little bit of trickery, but it does not work in their favor as Garen Brown is ready for it. Gets some blocks up front.
He just plucked that right out of the air.
Tomahawks defense was certainly ready for the trickery of the Jaguars.
Great awareness there.
And now if you're the Tomahawks, you might be able to get 1 or 2 plays off. Still 2 timeouts left in your pocket. Might end up in the end zone or even a field goal with Schmidt's ability from deep.
Let's see if they got something from the back pages of the playbook they might want to pull out here.
Majower to throw. It goes out to Logan Day.
Does he get out of bounds? No.
It does look like they are waiting for the clock to stop.
Oh, they are. Okay. Looked like he was waiting for the clock to continue. Maybe I'm just, maybe I don't understand.
I believe because it was a first down, they stopped the clock to move the chains, but once the ball is set, then the clock winds. Majower looking to throw again, but he doesn't see anyone open, decides to keep him himself, stays in bounds, so Coach Kip Jackson quick to call a timeout. Looking for an explanation from the referee as to why the clock was running. I believe my explanation was correct. Going to be a timeout by the Tomahawks. 2nd and 9 from the Jaguars' 25-yard line. About 11 seconds left to go here in this first half. Tomahawks may be willing to take one more shot before they possibly try the field goal unit.
See if we can get a little Tomahawk good luck here. We got Jennifer Berkeley. She says, let's go Tomahawks. Thank you, Jennifer. See if we can use that to get him into the end zone here.
Thank you all for
Just 11 seconds left in the half. And a great first half, very competitive. Certainly an offensive heavy half. You know, as you were saying, the defenses are great, but there's just that ground and pound you talk about really just wears them down. So we see what the Tomahawks have up their sleeve here.
And for those who are unable to join us last week against Bonnie Eagle was senior night and homecoming for the Tomahawks, as they honored all of these senior football players, cheerleaders, and band members, and thanked them for all of their time and sacrifice as part of Merrimack High School. So another special shout out to those seniors. Majower drops back to pass. It's a long ball down the field.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Logan Day in double coverage, able to come down with the ball once again. Let's take another look at that.
Are you
Majower
kidding me
with
right
pressure in his face. Logan Day under double coverage, still able to come down with it, celebrate with his team.
Oh, man.
Huge play for the Tomahawks before halftime.
I got to give at least a half a credit here to Jennifer Berkeley with the that little shout-out magic here before halftime. Thank you, Jennifer.
And that was a 25-yard touchdown pass from Majower to Day. Schmidt's kick is up and through as the Tomahawks lead adds on to 20. Just about 5 seconds left to go in the first half as the Tomahawks lead 20-7 over the Windham Jaguars. And that's another huge momentum shifter for the Tomahawks right before the end of this half. The Jaguars do get the ball to start the second half.
I'm going to see if I can pull this one up again. I'm just not it looks like it's...
And it looks
Are
like...
they just calling it for the half here?
It looks like our clock was just a bit off, and that touchdown did come as time expired in the first half.
Well, let's have a look one more time here. Look at this. Tossed from the 30-yard line
to Logan Day. What
Double
a
coverage.
catch.
Unbelievable as the Tomahawks bring it into the locker room. I did see the band out there tonight. There wasn't too much rain for the band, so I did see them in the stands earlier. We obviously saw them out on the field, so we'll see if the marching band has something queued up here for halftime. As both teams head into the locker room, talk over the first half, see what they can bring out here for half number 2 of what is turning out to be quite an exciting game.
And if you're the Tomahawks, you got to be happy with your performance here in the first half. Offense able to drive down the field, 4 drives, 3 of them resulting in touchdowns, 2 to Logan Day. 1 was the Garen Brown touchdown on the first play of the game. Defense able to, so far, keep Tiger On in check, who is one of the best backs in New Hampshire this season. Last week against Londonderry was On's first time being held to a less than 100 yards, and it looks like the Tomahawks might be able to be the second team to do so far.
It looks like we are setting up for a little bit of concert band out here. Before that happens, I just want to mention that, this summer Merrimack TV won a national award from the Alliance for Community Media. An episode from our Merrimack Moments series was recognized as the best web-based community program in the country. So we were thrilled to get that. We always like to highlight things in Merrimack that make, people, places, and events in Merrimack that make living in town special. So we're still thrilled about that. You want to see that plaque? We have it in our lobby. You can always swing by anytime during business hours, of course, and check that out. Maybe get a selfie with it if you like. Maybe we'll pose with it. We're still feeling pretty good about it. Thank Colin Marr for his hard work on that. He has since moved on, so we thank him for all his hard work at Merrimack TV. And we now have Grace LeMay in his spot, who is running the camera tonight. She's doing a great job. So thank you, Grace. And I'm going to bring up the audio, see if we get a little marching band action for you here for the half. and we will see you in the second half. And as we get ready to start the second half here, just like to note the great performance by the marching band, now led by, I believe, Brendan McWalter, if I'm not mistaken, and given to him by R.J. Beck as well. So the music program at Merrimack, always fantastic. Great to see them. Great to have them back this week. You know, they were absent last week because of the rain, I believe. They did all those festivities, homecoming, senior night festivities indoors last week, but great to have them back out on the field. Absolutely fantastic. Happy to have Brendan McWalter in the house. Always happy to have R.J. Beck. And we're taking a look around the league. Did you see anything happening around the league?
Yeah, we got a couple of score updates for you from around the league. At the end of the first quarter, Dover is leading Bedford 10-0. At halftime, Keene is leading Nashua South 28-0. At the end of the first quarter, Portsmouth up 7-0 on Exeter, which is the big game of the week. Both teams entered this game undefeated. Seems to be a defensive showdown so far. With 5 minutes left in the first half, Winnicott is up 7-0 on Goffstown. With 10 minutes left in the first half, Wachusett is up 21-14 on Salem. And at the half, Londonderry leads North 3-0. Just a couple of updates for you on scores around the league as we get ready to kick off this second half. Tomahawks leading the Windham Jaguars 20-7. The Jaguars will receive to start the second half. Both teams' offenses looking very good in the first half so far. The Tomahawks came out first play of the game on offense. One play, one touchdown by Garen Brown. Then the Jaguars answer right back with a long drive down the field, able to punch it in. Tomahawks unwavered. They are able to score off that weird tipped pass to Logan Day, able to score the touchdown. And as you saw just before the half, the long bomb from Majower to Logan Day in double coverage to give the Tomahawks that 20-point advantage going into halftime. Both teams getting warm here. Defensively, both teams probably went into the half looking to make a couple of adjustments. Jaguars giving up 3 touchdowns.
As we get ready to roll into the
Maybe
second
the
half,
usage
just a
of
reminder,
someone
we
like
are
Aiden
all part of the
Centrella they weren't
community,
necessarily
and
prepared
we all
for. They
play
watch a
role in
lot of
keeping our
film on
community
Garen
safe.
Brown, Logan Day,
While
but
you're
someone
watching
like
this evening's
Aiden
football
Centrella
game,
coming in, getting
keep an
those
eye out
screen
for
passes,
suspicious
able to pick up a
activity.
good chunk of
If you
yards
see
for the
something
Tomahawks.
suspicious, say something
Looking to make some
local authorities.
adjustments and put a stop to
Together,
it.
we can protect
Tomahawks
our
overall on
community.
defense have to be
Thank you.
pretty pleased with how they've done so far. Able to put together some great stops against Tiger On, one of the best best backs in New Hampshire so far this season. Able to keep him out of the end zone and relatively out of the game despite his talent. That defensive front for the Tomahawks standing tall in the first half. We'll see if they're able to continue that momentum into the second half as Windham is taking the field, getting ready to receive.
If you don't have enough football this evening and you want to
Tomahawks
see the game
still
over
talking
again,
it over
feel
with
free
their
to
kicking unit
download
before they head out.
Merrimack TV app on your iPhone or other portable device.
For those
It's
just
free.
joining us, we
You
want to
can
say thank you
watch
for
the
being
game
here with us
live
on
now
Merrimack
or watch it
TV
anytime you
as
want
we
in the
bring
future.
you action from the Merrimack
Merrimack
High School
TV.
football game. Tomahawks lead 20-7 at the start of the second half.
Go Parks. Let's go Parks.
You know, Rob, I got Bob Jones here. Just getting this message from 19 minutes ago. He said, Logan, 3, nope, count them, 4 exclamation points. So I think that might have been in reference to a play that we saw towards
Allen
the end
and
of the
Roy
half there.
in the backfield.
That big touchdown for Day to end the half. Windham receives Schmidt's kick. It is Dylan Roy once again. Had some great returns so far for the Jaguars. That time he brings it out to the 24-yard line.
Roy on the receipt.
Excuse me, the 34-yard line.
Taken down by
Comfortable field position for the Jaguars as they start this
brings
second
ball to
half.
34, first and 10, Windham.
Got Caroline Masty Masterson on the line here as well. Way to go, Merrimack Marching Band. Keep up the great work. Tomahawks beat one of Masty's alma maters. So she must have been a Jaguar at some point back in the day.
I believe she attended Salem, and she's referencing the band competition.
The band. Okay, yes. I got to use my my context clues here. Commenting on the marching band, of course. Fantastic performance by them. Thank you, Caroline, Mrs. Masterson, Ms. Masterson, Masty. We're still waiting on is it the accounting dance? What is did we hear something about that last week?
Yes, I believe we are still waiting on that performance from Miss Masty Masterson. Second down for the Jaguars, and DePietro keeps it himself out to the outside. Let's see where they mark him down. Got to be third down either way.
DePietro on the
And Ms. Masterson, if you want to send that accounting dance, you can send it to
pushed out by
Merrimack TV at merrimacknh.gov. And anyone else out there that has questions about Merrimack TV,
third and about 4.
you can reach out via that email, merrimackTV at merrimacknh.gov. Either myself, Justin Slez, or Nicholas LaValle would be happy to answer questions, comments. As it's going to be a close call here.
Handoff to On, but it looks like they're going to mark him just short for a fourth and 1.
You think they go for it here?
I'd say they at least come out, try to catch the Tomahawks with a hard count. But it is a tough field position if you're not able to convert to start this second half. The Tomahawks potentially could put a dagger this early in the game if they're able to take over this spot on the field. So it looks like the offense is on the field. Let's see if it's just for a quick little... And it looks like they are going to run a play to On. It's going to be close. It looks like he's got it.
Tomahawks.
And they're going to give it to him. Tiger On, able to pick up 2 yards for the Jaguars, enough to get the first down and keep the drive moving.
For those of you that purchased 50,
Wyndham's got to feel good about that. They wouldn't want to keep that Merrimack momentum rolling as far as how they want this game to be moving. So that's got to be a little bit of a pick-me-up here for the Jaguars.
On in the backfield. They are able to get the Tomahawks to jump once again.
Looks like Merrimack
Going to be an easy 5 yards for the Jaguars. Now, first and 5 from the 50.
Winning number in the 50-50 raffle today is 841-7339. 841-7339.
Thank you for watching tonight's game on Comcast Channel 8, HD Channel 1072, on MerrimackTV.com, or on the new Merrimack TV app. Available anywhere you can get apps.
DePietro pitches it outside. Looks like he's not going to pick up much for stepping out of bounds. That was number 31, Chris Brearley.
Pushed out of bounds by Brown.
It's going to pick up about 2 yards there, as it was 1st and 5 due to the penalty.
7-yard gain.
Now it's going to be a 2nd and long 4 for the Jaguars. Two receivers out to the right side. No motion. Jaguars looking to pass it deep.
Whoa, man. Double coverage.
It was close. Intended for Matthew Desmarais, but well defended by the Tomahawks. DePietro's pass in the right spot.
Sounds like illegal for
Desmarais just unable to go up for it.
Go, Chris.
Got Ms. Masterson. She says, I'll get a student to record the dance at the next home game. She just does not have a videographer tonight, so.
Gotcha. Gonna be a 3rd and short. They're gonna turn to On, who's taking it up the middle and able to pick up the 1st down once again for the Jaguars.
And on the carry, taken down by Stevens.
So we'd love to be able to play that dance on air. We might have to stream it in because we only have one more home game, if I'm not mistaken, on October 27th against the Bedford Bulldogs. So that might have to be a next season premiere. We can collect the video this year, but I'm not sure we'll be able to play it during a home game this year.
And the play is read well by the Tomahawks that time, as the run by On does not go anywhere. In fact, it loses a yard, bringing up a 2nd and 11 for the Jaguars.
Oh, excuse me, Rob, I misread this. We're having two different conversations right now. She says, I'll have a student record it for the next home game. So this is a classic prove-it situation for Ms. Masterson. Looking at 2nd and 10. Tomahawks looking very eager here.
And DePietro keeps it himself. Picks up a good chunk of yards, but not going to be enough for the 1st down.
Quarterback keeper, stopped by Brown.
As it is going to be a 3rd and about 4.
Push the ball up to the 37-yard line, 3rd and about 5.
And a little update for you. Bedford leads Dover now 21-10 with 7 minutes left in the half after the Bulldogs had back-to-back interceptions. DePietro looking to make the pitch, but he decides to hold on to it, and that'll cost him a couple yards.
DePietro once again on the carry, taken down by Brown.
As Brown is able to come in and make the tackle. Well read there. Going to be another 4th down situation.
Think they're going on?
That seems to be their go-to in situations like this, but it's a little bit longer of a 4th down than they've had so far.
And it might be a little too predictable, perhaps. I'm not sure. Let's see what we go with here.
He is in the pistol. And DePietro's going to pitch it out.
And a huge stop by the Merrimack Tomahawks.
That is Josh Ozog fired up, excited about the stop there. The carry was by number 17, Cameron Williams, taking the pitch from DePietro, but it was not enough for the 1st down as the Tomahawks take over 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
36-yard line, be 1st and 10 Merrimack.
It's a huge stop for the Tomahawks defense. Have to imagine the Tomahawks are going to keep the pressure on offensively. And the handoff is to Brown, who's trying to find some space, able to pick up a couple of yards. And Brown so elusive, able to find that open space and make something out of potentially a broken play, as the initial hole was not open.
Take that back.
Still able to turn around and make it a first down play for the Tomahawks.
Ball's on the 46 yard. First and 10, Merrimack.
Brown in the backfield, first and 10 for the Tomahawks. Looking like Majower's trying to choose some clock. Majower keeps it himself, but the Jaguars were ready for it as he is tackled by a group of Jaguars led by number 54, Liam Shambo.
Final call for a blue lottery ticket, 841-7339.
And at this point in the game, a 13-point deficit is certainly manageable if you're Windham, but the clock is going to start to become a factor as their drives eat up so much clock as they inch their way down the field. So, in theory, if the Tomahawks are able to score here on this drive, it could be the dagger in this game. High snap, but Majower's able to hold on to it. Another screen pass to Centrella, nearly intercepted. That was number 17, Cameron Williams, who was ready for it. Came flying downfield.
Dangerous toss there.
And if he was able to come down with that, there was nobody but open field in front of him. It would have been a huge momentum-shifting play for the Jaguars. Tomahawks getting away with that one. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. Thornton in motion. Majower hands it off to Brown, who bounces it out to the right side. Not going to pick up much, but it looks like it will be enough for the first down, pending where the officials spot it.
Brown taken down by Roy.
And they are going to give him the first down. Tomahawks so efficient offensively in their past 2 games. Seems like they're really setting into that pocket of who they are as an offense and found their rhythm. Majower keeps it himself, able to pick up a couple of yards. You know, you start this season with a young guy at quarterback. Might be a little bit shaky, might not have that chemistry with his receivers just yet, and their offense really trying to come together as a unit. At this point in the season, it looks like the Merrimack offense is really taking shape.
I 100% agree, Rob, that they're looking great right now, especially. Got to say, they got a lot of different plays, a lot of different looks.
Majower looking for a deep ball once again, and it is complete to Logan Day. Once again, those huge plays by Logan Day. We'll have another look at it here. Logan Day in single coverage says, I'll go up and get that. Thank you.
Stop by number 19, Roy.
Huge play for the Tomahawks. Going to be about a 35-yard gain as now the Tomahawks have the ball on the Jaguars' 5-yard line. Majower still trying to keep the play alive, but he's not going to get much. Able to escape a couple of tackles there before finally being brought down.
Quarterback keeper stopped by Shambo.
Going to be a 2nd and goal from the Jaguars' 6-yard line. And that type of confidence that you have in your receiver to throw up that jump ball and know that someone like Logan Day is going to come down with it just boosts so much more morale offensively that you're not afraid to throw those types of balls. You're not afraid to give up those types of iffy plays when you have that trust in your receiver. And Logan Day proving why he deserves that trust. Majower hit as he released it, intended for Logan Day once again, but his rhythm a little messed up as he took the hit on the release. Looks like he's a little bit shaken up there, but he's going to stay in the game.
Up by Desmarais. On the
you see the left guard for the Tomahawks there, number 70, Zach Rizzoe. Huge anchor for the Tomahawks offensive line. And to his left, Colby Smith, also a huge playmaker. The two of them together able to create so many different running opportunities for the Tomahawks. And that time, the Jaguars sending the house.
All over him.
Able to get home. And Majower looking a little shaken up after that hit. But that is a huge stop for Windham as the Tomahawks send on their field goal unit. Tomahawks weren't quite ready for that blitz that the Jaguars sent there. Quick sack. Snap to Brown. Kick is up. And it is no good. It looks like it was close, but it was just wide right as the Tomahawks lead remains at 13.
No good.
Favorable situation for the Jaguars there. You know, even if the Tomahawks made that field goal, it realistically was still a two-score game with 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, but now it's a little bit more manageable as you're able to keep it at 13, a touchdown, and then just 1 extra point needed to tie this game up. Jaguars doing everything they can to stay alive in this game.
Possession of the ball around 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Windham.
Little shout out there for the Merrimack cheerleaders. Hand off to On. Able to pick up a few before being brought down by Aiden Centrella. About 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Taken down by Centrella on a 5-yard gain. 6, maybe. 2nd and 4.
Going to be a 2nd and 4 for the Jaguars.
Ball's on the 27.
Ball is on the ground. Able to be picked up. He's going to lose a couple yards on that broken play, but DePietro able to save a potential turnover. Looks like the ball was just a little slippery there. Snap was in the right position, just kind of couldn't get a hand on it. And now the Jaguars are facing a 3rd and long 5.
Yes, but absolutely avoiding disaster right there, holding on to the ball.
Absolutely.
Sets us up for about 3rd and 8 for Windham.
If you're the Jaguars, you need a score here to keep this game alive. Handoff to On. Jonathan Sadia was ready for him. Able to make the tackle.
Carry taken down by Sadia.
Assisted by Shea Egan. Gonna be a 4th and 2 situation for the Jaguars. It does look like their offense stays on the field.
Hopefully the Tomahawks are going to stay disciplined enough to not jump off sides here. They've gotten them a couple times already tonight.
They have, and they also run that quick punt situation. So even though the offense is lined up here, it could potentially be a punt. We will have to wait and see. It is going to be the offense. And the Tomahawks swallow up On, able to put a stop. 2 back-to-back stops by both teams. We'll take another look. The Tomahawks ready for it. First man stands him up and slows him down. Just enough time for the rest of the team to get there and finish the tackle. Great team defense by the Tomahawks there to make a huge stop. As now the Tomahawks take over from Jaguars' 29-yard line. That is going to be the end of the third quarter, however, as both teams go to their sideline to talk things over as we prepare for the fourth quarter here in Merrimack.
Rob, I got some guy, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, some guy named Michael DeFelice here. He says, am I allowed to heckle the broadcaster? I would give an emphatic yes to that. He's just sending a message through the Facebook Messenger as opposed to commenting on the post. Does that name ring any bells?
That would be my father.
Ah, yes, of course. Dad, if you want to heckle away.
I'm surprised he asked for permission first, to be completely honest with you.
But quite polite of him. I believe we got a couple more people here on the comment section as well. See Andy Devine, another great call of a game by Robert DeFelice and company. Special shout out to their videographer. Very smooth. So thank you, Rob. Thank you, Grace, doing the camera work down on the field. So we start the fourth quarter here.
Tomahawks looking to take advantage of this excellent field position. Going to be a 2nd and about 4
The ball up to the 21.
from the 21-yard line.
2nd and 2, Merrimack.
Jower takes the snap. 2 men through into the backfield. That was Tiger on the tackle.
Brown on the carry again.
Brown looks like maybe he was able to pick up a yard.
Taken out by Lambert, which sets us up for another
Able to pick up a couple of yards, excuse me, and it was enough for the Tomahawks' first down.
Jennifer Berkeley on Facebook, she says, free cookies on Monday for Logan, Guerin, and Centrella.
Versus Merrimack from the 19-yard line.
That's always exciting news to hear.
I'm always game for free cookies as well.
Handoff to Brown once
Wow.
again. Jaguars
Powering
really bringing the
through.
pressure. Sending about 6 guys on the rush there. Aaron Brown still able to turn it
Brown
into
again on the
positive
carry,
yardage.
pushes away up through the crowd. Picks up about 5 yards on that one.
Gotta have some strong legs to be powering through that
2nd
defense
and
like
5,
that.
Merrimack.
Absolutely. And if I'm the Tomahawks here, with how much pressure that the Jaguars are bringing, I'd throw a quick pass across the middle, perhaps a slant out to the left side to Day or to Centrella. They're sending all that pressure. You're going to be able to find some wide open space if you're able to release the ball quick enough. High snap. Majower is able to bring it down, hand it off to Garen Brown. Jaguars backed off a little bit there, and Garen Brown takes advantage of it as he brings it up to
And
the
Brown
7-yard
squeezes his way
line.
through the crowd
It's going to
again,
be
stopped by
1st and
Patel.
goal
So
for
yet
the
another
Tomahawks.
Merrimack. First down.
And that clock is still ticking.
First and goal,
Jaguars
Merrimack.
really need to put together a stop here if they want any hope of coming back in this game. First and goal for the Tomahawks. Majower with the snap to Brown, who is met in the backfield almost immediately by Tiger on.
Brown on the carry, stopped by Ann.
Little update for
Like,
you.
No gain on the play. Ball's
The New
on
Hampshire game of the
about the
week.
9-yard line.
Portsmouth versus
2nd and goal,
Exeter.
Merrimack.
Portsmouth is now up 20-0 at the half. Huge victory for Portsmouth.
Tomahawks looking to the sidelines. See what they got up their sleeve here.
Majower with the snap. Quick pass.
Are you
Wasn't
kidding
off
me?
The ground.
Oh,
it looks
okay.
like it
All
touched the
right.
ground. Thornton unable to get his hands underneath it.
Let's see it again anyway.
We'll take a look here.
Pass intended for Thornton, incomplete.
It's hard to
to-
look,
have
hard to
that
get a good
defender.
angle on it, but I think I would have to agree with the
39
official there
Merrimack.
and say the ball did touch the ground. The official there obviously has a much better look at it than we do.
Much closer to that ball than we are. That's for certain. Tomahawks looking to the sideline once again.
Majower takes the snap, looking to pass under some duress. Throws it up to the side, but it's not going to make it to Thornton. As the Jaguars are able to put the Tomahawks in another 4th down situation in the red zone. And the field goal unit will come on.
See if the Tomahawks can put some points off of that generous turnover on downs, giving them great field position. Not able to turn it into a touchdown, but see if they can turn it into a few points here.
The kick is up, and it is good this time as the Tomahawks extend their lead to 23.
Merrimack, 7, Windham.
Tomahawks now taking a 16-point lead. Still a 2-score game, as I had previously mentioned. Just a lot more difficult as the Jaguars would need to convert 2 two-point conversions off of 2 touchdowns to tie this game up. And with just under 8.5 minutes left to go in this game, the Jaguars will need to move with some sense of urgency to get those points on the board.
If you're enjoying tonight's game, you can always catch Merrimack Tomahawks action live on the new Merrimack TV app. There's lots of other stuff on there as well. You can catch the next game live or previous games on demand on the Merrimack TV app. Also lots of other good stuff. Local news, meeting coverage, concerts, all kinds of other events on demand. You can check that out in the Merrimack TV app. Available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple, iOS, and Android.
Schmidt's kick is picked up by Romeo Atkin.
And it looks like we got a Jaguar down, number 13, I believe.
I believe that was number 19, Dylan Roy.
Around 25-yard line.
Does not look like he's having a good time. Hopefully he'll be good.
Roy's had a great game so far on both sides of the ball for the Jaguars. Hopefully he's all right as the training staff heads his way to check him out.
You know, Rob, I didn't get to show this before, and I know this drive didn't result in any kind of points, but I did want to see that Ozog celebration again on that turnover on downs where they stood up the Jaguars offense and took over. So I'm going to see if I could pull that up here. This was with 7 minutes left in the third. It was a little while ago, but 4th down, they stand him up, and you can see Ozog is having a great time, feeling good about that stop. Tomahawks march back down the field, but unfortunately the kick goes a little wide.
Ozog's fired up, keeping that energy going for the Tomahawks. You see Sadia was also very energetic in there. Roy is still down. We hope that it is nothing serious. Looks like they're helping him up right now as he makes his way off the field. Looks like he's able to walk off the field on his own. We hope everything is all right. You always hate to see injuries. Jaguars offense taking the field here, down 16. With a little over 8 minutes left to go in this game. Gonna need some points on this drive, and then a huge defensive stop if they want to stay alive.
1st and 10 Windham for the 29.
And that is number 17, Cameron Williams, for the Jaguars on the carry.
Williams on the carry.
Looks like he is going to be able to pick up the first down.
For Windham, 1st down.
Can maybe get a look at
1st and 10 from
what
the
might have
40-yard
happened
line.
here. It looks like number 19 got clipped on the legs by one of the defenders. Right there.
Ooh. First and 10 for the Jaguars. Williams in motion. And that was DePietro who keeps it himself.
Nice run.
Able to pick up another 10 yards. And then some. Back-to-back, pretty good distance plays for the Jaguars.
Moved it up to about the
This is the type of offense that they need here.
49-yard line for another Windham.
I think they're mentally still in the game here, Rob. They have not given up yet.
Certainly, they're keeping their heads on straight. It is certainly doable as long as they stay disciplined and keep the ball moving. DePietro's looking to make the pitch.
Another
He's gonna
keeper.
hold on to it himself, gain another 10 yards. A triple option offense starting to gain a little momentum for the Jaguars here.
Quarterback keeper. Stop by Dunn.
That was Connor Dunn on the
Ball
tackle.
down on the 39-yard line. First and
See
10
him
Windham.
coming off the field on the right side of your screen. On in the pistol. DePietro drops back, looking to pass.
Oh, under pressure.
Under a lot of pressure. Jump ball up. Both players have their hands on it. They're going to rule it a catch for Windham at the 1-yard line. Wow. Huge catch by number 34, Matthew Desmarais. Pretty great defense as
catch
well,
by
but
Desmarais.
Desmarais able to come down with it.
Ball down the 1-yard line. First and 10 Windham. First
And
and
now
goal.
Windham in a great position. Handoff to On, but he is met at the goal line. Is not going to be able to score there. As Nicolin Stevens stands him up at the goal line.
Let me see if we can take a look at that catch.
Flag on the play. No gain.
From his own 45, or from the Tomahawks 45-yard line. Huge pass down
Wow.
the field. Wow.
And they were wrestling for it down there, but
They certainly were. There is a flag on the play. We're calling a personal foul against the Tomahawks.
you hate to see that anytime during the game, but
Looks like
especially
personal
late
foul
in the
against
game.
Merrimack.
Don't want to get too chippy out there.
And that was against number 5, Nathan Sadia.
Half the distance to the goal.
Not sure exactly what happened there,
Second
but
goal Windham.
refs obviously saw something they didn't like, as Sadia is going to get subbed out by Colby Smith. Going to give him a little bit of a break to cool down there. Second and goal for the Jaguars on the Tomahawks 1-yard line. Clock is still running. Handoff to On, who's able to duck in the middle and get in the end zone.
Number 43 and runs it in.
Take
for
another look at that
touchdown,
there.
Windham.
That pistol formation that the Jaguars like to line up in. Able to kind of duck down and find a little room between his offensive linemen to score that touchdown. And that keeps his streak alive. On has scored at least once in every single game so far this season.
And suddenly the Jaguars only down by 10 right now. Still 6 minutes to play here in the fourth. Looks like they're going to line up here for a 2-point conversion.
And this is huge. Gonna hand it off. Or no, they're gonna pitch it out. Looks like
Flag
Cameron
on the-
Williams is able to get in, but there is a flag down. Looks like there's gonna be a hold against
Hand
the
off to
Jaguars.
Williams.
So they are going to repeat the
two-point
conversion attempt.
With the flag on the play.
Josh Ozark reenacting the hold, as you see there. Waiting on the call here from the officials.
See if we can get a look at this one again. 2-point attempt to the outside.
You see Ozog waving his arms in the air there. Maybe selling it a little bit, but selling it enough that he's able to draw the flag and halt the conversion for now. We'll see what the Jaguars do here.
Certainly a little oversell there. I know Merrimack's looking to improve their theater program. Excellent sports program. Excellent music program. theater program pretty good.
Absolutely.
I know the school board, and you can check this out on the Merrimack TV app. You check out the school board meetings. They had been discussing it. They do want to see some improvements to the theater offerings at Merrimack High.
Looks like a holding call against.
And now we are going to get a second attempt on this 2-point conversion, this time from the 10-yard line. Much more difficult conversion to complete. DePietro throwing the ball up to the back corner of the end zone, but it is not going to be able to be brought in by Cameron Williams. Well defended there by Logan Day, and that is such a pivotal play, as now it remains a 2-score lead for the Tomahawks.
Huge stop there for the Tomahawks.
Now with about just over 6 minutes to go in this game, the Tomahawks lead by 10.
About 6 minutes left in the quarter.
Windham certainly needed that 2-point conversion there. Still doable here if they're able to convert potentially an onside kick or get a quick stop on defense. Going to need to operate very quickly at this point, however.
Think a little squib kick's coming?
I'd see either a squib kick or a potential onside kick. The Jaguars certainly don't have much time to waste. The Tomahawks certainly know how to burn some clock offensively, so you would have to expect that the Jaguars are going to want to get the ball back in their hands as quick as they possibly can.
Both teams still all 3 timeouts. Unless the scoreboard is mistaken, I haven't been keeping track, to be honest with you. I feel like maybe there was a timeout or 2 here in the second half. Am I crazy?
Come again?
Looks like both teams still have their timeouts, but I can't remember if they've used any timeouts here in the second half.
I don't believe they have. It is an onside kick by Windham. The ball is up, and it does look like the Jaguars are able to recover it. Logan Day there trying to field the onside kick, but the Jaguars got a very favorable bounce off of his hands.
Onside kick by Windham.
Are they calling it for Windham?
Yeah,
They called it?
By number 47, Aiken. It's going to be Wyndham's
Right.
ball.
Looks like they're discussing it, and they are going to call it for Windham. It is going to be 1st and 10 Jaguars from the Tomahawks' 44-yard line. Let's take another look here. You see the ball bounce way up in the air, and just right into the hands of number 47.
Unbelievable.
Romeo Akin, absolutely unbelievable. All the momentum in favor of the Jaguars right now as the offense comes back out on the field, and a potentially tired Tomahawks defense does not get their well-deserved rest. DePietro pitches it out. There is a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage. The run picked up about 10 if it stands, but we'll see what the call is from the officials.
Hand off to Brealey. Pushed out of bounds at the 40.
They're going to call an illegal shift against the Jaguars, which erases that huge pickup.
A little bit of a break here for the Tomahawks. Maybe downshift that momentum here.
Shift by Windham.
There's going to be the Jaguars up 5, but it will remain 1st down.
See if the Jaguars can just shake it off.
Keep
the momentum up.
From the 49.
Still 6 minutes to play here, Rob, so
DePietro decides to keep it himself, but he is swallowed up by Ozog. A little bit less of a celebration that time from Ozog, but you can tell he's still fired up.
A little bit of swagger on there, I think.
10, Ox.
He's excited. He's keeping the energy alive for his teammates. Three receivers out to the left side for the Jaguars as DePietro takes the snap, pitches it out to On as he's getting hit. On still on his feet before finally getting brought down after about a 7-yard gain by Nicolin Stevens.
Let's revisit that stop by Ozog here. Check out the little swagger move here. I don't know if that's still a word that people are using, the kids nowadays.
Yeah, it's used here and there.
Definitely happy with that stop.
Third and
about 5 for the Jaguars here. You have to imagine it's 4 down territory if you are the Jaguars.
Absolutely.
Another option play here. DiPietro decides to hold on to it himself. And it looks like there's going to be a face mask call there on Ozog as his hand inadvertently went inside the face mask of DiPietro. Take a look at it here.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that's no doubt about that one.
That's about as clear as it can be, and that's going to be an extra 15 yards for the Jaguars.
That is gonna hurt.
Rather unfortunate for the Tomahawks there. Obviously,
they
something
can-
like that is never intentional, but
Hopefully they can reel it in. The defense has been standing so strong all night long.
clock is still winding.
Looks like a face mask call against Merrimack.
Now the clock remains winding
That's a ball for
as the
24.
Jaguars take
First and 10, Windham.
the field. 1st and 10 now for Windham from the Tomahawks' 25-yard line. DiPietro drops back to pass. It is a deep ball. It is up. Unable to connect with his receiver. Looks like it's going to be a little bit too long. Well
Pass
defended there
intended
by
for
Connor
Roy.
Dunn.
Broken up by Dunn.
Looks like it might have almost been pulled in there by the Tomahawks, but definitely a little too high regardless.
Intended there for Ben Roy. It had just been a little bit out of reach there. Now it's going to be a 2nd and 10. And DiPietro fakes the handoff to On and then pitches it out to Chris Brearley, who's tackled in the
Hit
backfield
off the Breeley. Stopped by Brown.
by
Still
Garrett
gaining
Brown.
play.
Huge tackle there by Garrett Brown. It's now going to bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Jaguars.
Ball's on the 28.
Again, this is certainly 4 down territory if you're the Jaguars, so you don't need it all here on this play,
Late
but
3rd and
certainly
10
would like a
for
good chunk
Windham.
of that yardage back. Drops back to pass, but it's out of bounds. Looks like he was trying to get rid of it quick, feeling the pressure.
Pass intended for Dismaris.
Intended for Dismaris, but it is well out of bounds, out of the reach.
4th and long to go here. This is such an important down.
This is essentially the play of the
like
game
4th
right
and
here. If the
13 for
Tomahawks are
Windham.
able to get a stop, they, in theory, would be able to run out the rest of the clock and put an end to any comeback hopes of the Jaguars. So this is the game here. Drops back to pass, feeling the pressure from the Cedillo brothers. Throws it up in the air to the end zone. Tipped up, and he is unable to come down with it. Looked like he had a chance there for a second. That was
Ball
Ben
intended for
Roy.
Incomplete.
Huge pass downfield by DiPietro off his back foot. Ben Roy had it in his hands, but he was unable to come down with it as Garrett Brown and Connor Dunn were there on the defense.
Now,
Merrimack
Rob,
Hold up. Now it looks like
takes repossession of the ball.
there might be some sort of penalty here. As the officials are discussing things over, they did just send off the Jaguars game ball. Awaiting a call here.
I'm on the edge of my seat
They're-
right now,
they're
Rob.
moving
What the heck is
ball
going
up
on
towards
here?
the Tomahawks end zone. Looks like there's going to be a penalty against the Tomahawks.
All right, we missed the flag. Not sure what the penalty is, but the ball got moved up, and then
And now it's going to be a
looks
first
like
and 10
first down
from the
for Windham.
Tomahawks 15-yard line. Not exactly sure what happened there.
It's like
Possibly
personal foul.
It says it's a personal foul.
Oh, man.
Wow, that was the game right there. The Tomahawks had it. Not exactly sure what happened. Now the defense has to stay on the field and
First
string
and 10 from the
together
14.
another stop. DiPietro looking to pass to the back of the end zone, and that
Oh,
time
man.
he is able to connect with Ben Roy over top
Touchdown,
of
Windham,
Cedillo.
by number 38.
A costly mistake with that penalty on that last play.
Excuse me, that was over the head of Connor Dunn. Huge touchdown there for the Jaguars. The Tomahawks had the ball back. The game was over. They just needed to pick up a couple first downs and run down the clock. And now we're looking at a potential 3-point game.
Still 3 minutes to go. That's a lot of time on the clock here.
It certainly is.
Deficit.
And the kick is up and through, and now the Jaguars only trail by 3. This game really coming down to the wire. Now the Jaguars in an interesting spot. The onside kick works the first time. Do you go for it again and give the Tomahawks better field position if they come up with it? Or do you trust your defense with 3 timeouts left to come up with a stop?
23 and Windham 20.
Tomahawks lead 23-20 with just under 3 minutes left to go in this game, and what was a 16-point lead now down to 3 for the Tomahawks, as all of the momentum is in the favor of the Jaguars.
Absolutely unreal play there.
A couple of huge mistakes there by the Tomahawks, able to allow the Jaguars to stay in the game. Windham lining up to kick. We will see if they decide to come out with that onside once again. It does look like the Tomahawks have their hands team on the field, hoping for a better result than the first time. And it's going to be a little bit of a squib kick. Able to get behind Garen Brown. He's going to let it roll into the end zone for a touchback. Tomahawks will take over on the 20-yard line. And now at this point, if you're the Tomahawks, you're trying to keep the ball on the ground. You're on risk management, trying to run as much clock as you possibly can.
Let's see that touchdown play one more time after the Tomahawks gave up a 15-yard penalty where they had the... I feel like they had a wrap on the game here. Let me pull it up real quick. Switch it back if I need to.
Petro able to complete that pass to Ben Roy, who goes up for it.
Unbelievable.
Over top of Dunn. I believe that is what people call mossing somebody.
That is exactly what they call it, and the Jaguars all over that play.
Screen pass out to Centrella, who is quickly tackled for a loss. Screen pass was working well for the Tomahawks, but it looks like that the Jaguars were able to make an adjustment and are now more prepared for it.
This is going to come down to the wire, Rob.
That does keep the clock running as well. Now the Tomahawks are facing a little bit longer of a second down, about a 2nd and 13. Tomahawks are going to take as much time as they can between each play. Windham choosing not to take any of their timeouts. Majar hands it off to Brown, who's able to find some space.
Goodness.
He is still on his feet, able to shed a couple more tackles. He is still going, getting chased down from behind, but he is on his feet before finally choosing to go down at the 40-yard line. Such a huge play, and there's flags down as well. Looks like this time it's going to go against the Jaguars. What a pivotal play by Garen Brown. And by the looks of it, the first flag is going to be a personal foul against the Jaguars. The second one looks like it's going to be a sideline infraction against the Tomahawks.
Let's have a look-see at this play one more time.
Garen Brown just so elusive, able to shed tackles, find that open space before finally giving up, making the smart decision to go down at the 40-yard line. That way he doesn't potentially get the ball punched out from behind. Huge play. Garen Brown essentially opens this game up with that touchdown and puts the dagger here at the end with that huge gain.
Windham still 3 timeouts, though. I don't know how that factors in here, as the ref's still talking over the flag situation, which seemed to be quite the theme here in the last portion of the game, as tossing those flags out here. See what they got to say.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the first sideline infraction would be a warning, and the second time they would face the penalty. But based off of... It does look like there is a personal foul against the Jaguars. There was a little bit of other signaling from the referee there. We weren't able to quite catch it, but the result of the play is going to be an extra 15 yards tacked on to Garen Brown's huge run. And now the Tomahawks have the ball 1st and 10 at the Jaguars' 25.
1st and 10 Merrimack from the 25.
And if you're the Tomahawks, you're not necessarily even looking to score at this point. You're just trying to run the clock out. Need probably one more first down before they'd be able to enter victory formation. Such a valiant effort by the Jaguars here at the end of this game. A matter of minutes, cut a 16-point lead down to just 3. But the Tomahawks stand tall in the end. Or so it seems to be. Don't want to get too ahead of myself just yet.
Not yet, Rob. Crazier things have happened.
We are going to get a timeout here from Windham.
Timeout Windham.
Interesting choice here from Windham to stop the clock at this point. If they were planning on using the timeout, you'd have to imagine they would have done it sooner. The clock doesn't necessarily run immediately due to the penalty. However, there was a little bit of time that ran off before they used the timeout. Both teams able to discuss things over here as the Tomahawks have the ball 1st and 10 from the Jaguars' 25-yard line. They lead 23-20 with just under 2 minutes to go in this contest. Coach Carl Bunis, the co-offensive coordinator for the Tomahawks, talking things over with his squad. Coach Bunis, longtime Merrimack coach prior to being with the Tomahawks. He was a longtime coach with the Merrimack Cardinals, the youth football program here in Merrimack. Coached his sons, Bobby and Jake, up into when they reached high school. Three receivers out to the right side for the Tomahawks. Majower takes the snap. Windham sends the house and is able to quickly tackle Brown at the line and take another timeout. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Tomahawks. Still at the 25-yard line.
Gain of the play. Bit under 2 minutes left in regulation play.
Well, let's take one more look at that run that set them up here.
Brown coming out of the pistol. Huge block there by Zach Rizzoe. Garen Brown just so elusive, finding that open space, keeping his legs moving. And this
might be where the
appears
flag...
this is where the personal foul came from.
Yeah. And I don't know that it was intentional, but...
Another shout out to the cheerleaders, keeping the crowd fired up throughout this game. Great job by the cheerleaders. And if you saw at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen there when we were looking at the cheerleaders, that was actually Joshua Ozog's little sister, Rachel. Little brother-sister duo here for the Tomahawks. Second and 10 here for Merrimack from the Jaguars' 25-yard line. Brown in the pistol formation. 2 on each side for the Tomahawks. They look to try to use that hard count, but the Jaguars were disciplined. High snap, Majower able to bring it down, keeps it himself out to the left side before sliding down to keep the clock running.
Majower on the carry. Picked up about 4 yards on that one.
Looks like Windham's used another timeout.
3rd and 7.
It does look like they used their final timeout there.
Okay. Tomahawks looking at about 3rd and 7. Imagine they're keeping this one on the ground.
That ground and pound for the Tomahawks has been so good so far in this game. The offensive line giving their backs a great push, able to find their space. It does look like Majower is going to come off the field, and Sadia is going to come on. So last time we saw this, we saw the Tomahawks line up in that Wildcat formation. Garen Brown at quarterback. Does look like Coach Bunis is scheming something up with his offense to try to pick up the first down and essentially end this game, as the Tomahawks would be able to run out the rest of the clock.
Here we go.
This is a huge play here for the Tomahawks. We do see Garen Brown at the quarterback position. 3 receivers on the right side. Garen Brown will hold on to it. Is going to get tackled at about the 20-yard line. Going to be short of the first down. But the Tomahawks now able to run down a huge amount of this clock. There is a flag. These flags have been flying here in the tail end of this game. Wait and see here what the call was. Could have been another personal foul. It is going to be a personal foul against the Jaguars. Not sure what happened there, but that's another personal foul. There's been quite a few here.
Against Windham.
That's going to get...
See if we can
push the ball up a little bit closer.
have a look-see here. I don't know if I got too far into the replay. And I'm not really seeing anything there, but there's the flag. Maybe some words exchanged. I don't know.
Something that we necessarily can't hear up here.
And that is going to do it for the Jaguars. A very costly mistake.
First and goal, Merrimack.
And that's so tough for the Jaguars. They're mounting such a great comeback and just halted so quickly by so many costly mistakes. The Tomahawks certainly left the door open for them, but the Jaguars come up just short. The Tomahawks will progress to 3-3 as the Jaguars fall to 2-4 after this contest. Tomahawks did a fantastic job limiting Tiger On's production in this game. We said coming into this game, and Coach Jackson told me as well, that he was that staple focus of their offense, that he is able to get that ball moving, has averaged over 100 yards per game. And the key to their victory here was going to be able to stop his production in the run game. And the Tomahawks able to do just that, as they are able to line up in victory formation for the 2nd straight week and walk away with the victory. Huge win for the Tomahawks as they keep their playoff hopes alive.
Merrimack 23.
They will be on the road the next 2 weeks. Have some tough competition coming up on the tail end of their schedule.
We'll be back here again in about 3 weeks playing Bedford.
Teams lining up to shake hands at this point. The unofficial player of the game goes out to Garen Brown, courtesy of Merrimack TV. First play of the game, rips off a huge touchdown, able to immediately get the motion going for the Tomahawks. Keep the momentum in their favor.
Let me see if I can pull up that first touchdown here.
This is the first play of the game here as Garen Brown is able to take it 75 yards to open up this game. And if you're the Tomahawks, there is no better way to start a game. And it was just all Merrimack. The Tomahawks only trailed once in this game. And it was when the Tomahawks were unable to convert their first extra point. The Jaguars then responded and were up 7-6 in the first quarter. But aside from that, the Tomahawks had control through this entire contest. We want to thank you for joining us here on Merrimack TV for our broadcast. I'm Robert DeFelice alongside Justin Slez. Be sure to tune in next time.
We'll be back here on, I believe, the 27th, Rob. If you're game, I'm game. We'll be here in studio. Thank you to Grace LeMay down on the field, doing some great camera work. Thank you to whoever was running the scoreboard tonight. Wouldn't be able to see those graphics without that. And John doing the on-field announcing as well. Great performance by the band tonight. Color guard, awesome. Thank you to the cheer squad. Another great game tonight, and thank you for tuning in. This is Merrimack TV, your community, your voice.